So how do I get the best deal on a mortgage? How do I get the best interest rate? How do I get the lowest interest rate? Of course, those are the main questions that I get asked by buyers over the last 18 years. I mean, really, everybody wants to know how to get the best mortgage interest rate and mortgage deal. So I'm going to link to a video that I did about a year or so ago that I went really in detail how to figure where rates are at and to actually know, using the internet, how to get the best deal on a mortgage. But I wanted to add to that video, so I'm not going to cover everything that I covered in that video, so I recommend, I'll link to it down below to watch that video first if you haven't watched it already. But even watching that video, the most common thing that I'm seeing lately in 2019 is people getting tricked by gimmicks. So you get a feel for rates are at, and then you go out and start shopping. Well, when you look online, you're going to notice something really fast, that rates seem to be all over the place. And the truth is, it's because everyone's advertising something different. Intuitively, we kind of all already know this. I went and got a car recently, and it was a 2.9% rate. But of course, when I got there, that ended up being an introductory rate, and you had to have like 42 different things to actually get it. So lending is the same way. If you see a rate being advertised on TV, by a bank, online, I can tell you right now, the chances of you getting that rate are very slim, or at least getting it at the way that you thought you were going to. In general, banks advertise what I call the unicorn, meaning hardly anybody's going to get it. It's just about getting the phone to ring. And there's all that fine print underneath talks about extra costs. Also, and all the requirements, for instance, putting 25% down, having a loan amount over $300,000 to $400,000, having credit scores higher than 740 or 760. So all these things on top of the property type and are you going to live there. So there's all these factors that go into the rate. And that is hard to advertise. So banks do, and lenders do, and online banks do what everybody does. They advertise the best case scenario. And that leads to a lot of people getting disappointed. If you see rates are here and then you get here, then people tend to be unhappy, but they never really knew what rates were anyways. They just saw what everybody was advertising. So that's the first thing. And it's probably the hardest thing to deal with because banks play this game thousands of times a month. They're going to be better at it than you because they do a million transactions. They know how to hide fees. They know how to get you started and then later go, well, actually, we said this, but now it's this. So the first thing that you can do is look at the individual that you're working with. And the other video I talk about Googling them. People that are happy will give you reviews. People that are unhappy love to talk. And so you should take a look at whatever company, and not just the company, the person that you're dealing with, because the person has a lot to do with the mortgage deal you're going to get and also your experience. And if there's a lot of positive things, then move that person on to the next step of your evaluation. If there's a lot of negative or not a lot of reviews either way, then you may want to run clear. The second part is how transparent do you feel they are? When banks start kind of doing a little fancy footwork and they're getting a little, I was going to say googly, whatever that word is where you're kind of like, I don't know, it just seems a little weird. I see banks, we're going to pay all your closing costs, or we're going to close in 5 days, or all these gimmicks that kind of don't make sense. The fact is the banks don't really like you. They don't want to pay all your closing costs. They're building it into the deal. Oh my God. So the second part, how transparent do you feel they are? Are they sharing things with you that make sense? So for me, and I can only speak from my experience over the last 18 years, is I'm a mortgage broker business. We work with multiple different banks. We do everything in-house, but we do shop rates to make sure we get the best deal for your situation. And then we show you the rate sheets often, where we can just show you, look, here's where this bank's at, here's where that bank's at. We also show you the Fannie Mae adjusters if you're doing a conventional loan for credit score and loan type and occupancy. We do a video one-on-one meeting with almost everyone we pre-approve if they take the time to do it, where we will explain to you step by step, where is this rate coming from? You saw this rate advertised and you're being told this rate now. Why is that? And that's a question that you need to have answered. And then the third part is, what are their fees, right? There are all types of ways to advertise a rate, but then add extra costs. If one bank's here and another bank's here, but this one's $3,000 more in lender fees or discount or origination costs, then it's not a better deal. And so the other part of this, knowing what is the fee for that rate. Almost all banks have an underwriting fee, a processing fee, an admin fee, and these banks do got to make money. On average, they charge about $1,000 in fees. For us, we actually have no fees. I absorb the processing fee in-house, and the underwriting fees, the banks that we work, the loans are priced with the underwriting fees. So you actually have no underwriting, no processing fees. So that it makes it simple. Really, it's only a question if you're going to pay a little bit to buy the rate down, or in some cases take a higher rate and get a credit, which is nice. If you're short cash to close, you can move your payment up $15 a month and get help for your cash to close. And that's really ultimately what you need to do to get the best mortgage. I'm not saying overpay, but find somebody you trust. Get an idea of where you think rates are at. Look at their reviews. And if you got your brother John, who's a mortgage person, and you look and he's pretty competitive, and someone's 1/4% cheaper, that's $19 a month. For certain loan amounts. Obviously, it differs for certain, but it's $20 a month, let's say. And you go to save $20 a month with this other company, you almost always be sorry. And I can't tell you how many people say, but Rayce, $20 a month over 30 years, that's a lot of money. I've been doing this 18 years. I've never seen one person keep their mortgage for 30 years. My parents, the most conservative people on the planet, refinanced twice that I know of. So chances are you'll sell or refinance long before it. Most people spend $4 a day on a cup of coffee, and they'll go do crazy ends of the earth thing to save $8 a month on a payment. At the end of the day, that's just the beginning of the process. You still have to close. You got to get an appraisal, a survey, title. There's all kinds of things that mortgage person has to do efficiently, effectively, and with really good communication to get you to the closing line. So if you're or finish line, but if you're refinancing, okay, I understand. You're not under the gun. If you're doing a purchase, there is a lot to have that happen, and there is a finish line, a timeline that you have to meet. So make sure you're working with somebody that you trust, that they're being super transparent, and then check them out online and see what other people say. And if you're looking to get a mortgage in Florida, then let's set up a video one-on-one meeting. We can spend a few minutes talking. We can go over everything in detail for your scenario, and I'll make sure that you know exactly where you're at, exactly what the costs are up front, and you'll have my personal contact info. You can call me or my team anytime during the process or when you're looking for a home. So I hope that helps. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.